Welcome to Weekly Cheats. I'm Aaron, and after a week of eating clean, it's time for something sweet. What we're going to be making today is chocolate-covered peanut butter truffles. They're super easy to make, only a few ingredients, but very, very good. And in the future, we'll have a bunch more recipes that I'll show you guys that are kind of derived from some of this peanut butter mixture and this process. So hang on to this one, because as we get into some more advanced and complicated ones, these will come back. But first, let's make sure that we sanitize our workstation. If this is your first time watching a video by me, make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification button so that you'll be able to get alerts whenever we post a new video, generally on Thursdays. Also, if you're just subscribing for the first time, go ahead and leave a comment letting me know that you subscribed, and I'll personally comment back to you. All right, let's begin. Like I said at the beginning, this recipe is incredibly simple. All we need is a half cup of peanut butter, 1 stick of butter, so roughly a half a cup of butter, and then about 2 to 2.5 cups of powdered sugar. We'll kind of play with the consistency on that for these truffles. You don't want it to be too dry. We want it to be light and fluffy inside. First thing that we'll do is we'll mix in the peanut butter and the butter. Go ahead and scrape the sides a little bit. We can start adding some powdered sugar. This you want to just add gradually. So we've still got about a half of a cup left at this point. That we want to add in very slowly so that we don't make it dry out. Slowly increase the speed so that when you first turn it on, the powdered sugar doesn't explode everywhere. All right, as you can see, it's starting to get kind of like a cookie dough consistency. We don't want to get it much more than that. Give it a quick texture test. Good, none of it sticks to our fingers. We're ready to turn these into truffles. All right, so we've got our dough made, peanut butter dough, parchment paper. Put some of this down, if I can grab it. There we go. All we're gonna do here is we're just gonna grab some of this, roll it into balls about the size of a golf ball. Nothing too huge, nothing too small though. We want these to be big and satisfying. Nice, perfect, even number. What we're gonna do next is we're gonna put these in the fridge for about 15 minutes, or you can put them in the freezer for 5 to 10 to chill them, so that when we cover them with hot melted chocolate, they don't fall apart all over. For the chocolate that we're gonna cover them with, don't use baking chips, please, okay? They're all goopy when they come out, and they do not set up very firm, so if you use your Toll House or your Nestle baking chips, or really any just ones that you'd mix in chocolate chip cookies, they get all over your fingers when you try to eat these. They don't set up right. I like Calibé, that's my favorite one, but they were out of that when I went to the store last, so we're using Guitar. which is also a great one. You want to look for ones that are little wafers like this. They generally refer to them as appeals. at the candy store. So you can shop for these online. I live in Utah, so I go to a place called Orson Gigi, nice little local chocolate shop. So we're gonna put some of this in here. And I microwave it to melt it down. Any regular chocolatier watching this is gonna cringe when they see that, but it's fine. I've tried it all the different ways and just using it in the microwave about 20 seconds at a time so you don't dry the chocolate out. Take it out, stir it, put it back in, stir it. That's all you need to do. All right, so we've got it nicely melted now. Time to get our truffles out. So these are nice and firm now. We're gonna just drop them in. I like to use forks and just kind of roll them around a little bit to kind of cover it. I like to have a bowl that has a notch on it like this so I can just kind of drag it off so I don't waste a bunch of chocolate. Come down and then just slide it off. If you have too much chocolate dripping around the edge right there, then you're probably wasting it, not letting it sit above it long enough, or scraping it off. We've got all of these on the parchment paper here. As you can see, we still have a little bit of chocolate left over, so we picked the right amount. One thing that's really useful about cooling these or chilling these in the freezer is, as you can see, the chocolate is already set up and we just set the last one down. So that one's not quite there yet. Another thing I want to point out, if you're going to do a large batch of these are cold, so they make the chocolate they cool it back down when it's warmed up. So this is useful to just set on like a warming pad or like a heating pad if you have one to keep the chocolate warm. Otherwise it does start to get all goopy, and you don't want to have that happen when you're trying to cover these in it. You want it to stay as runny as possible so it doesn't clump to it. All of these is hardened up. Not that we actually have to wait for that, but they look kind of bland. So I always like to just kind of spruce them up a little bit. This is just dark chocolate, same brand. Well, this one's Calibé because I was able to get it. And I use a fork for this and just kind of lift it up, let it drip a little bit. Otherwise you get a big blob like that. I didn't let it go enough. So come through, tilt the fork down, and then just go back and forth. And kind of drizzle some over here. The dark chocolate also just gives it a little bit of a nice flavor. The other benefit to covering it up with like this is sometimes you'll get bubbles in your chocolate when you're trying to take it out, or sometimes it just doesn't look that great, it doesn't come out smooth. Well, you can hide those little mistakes with a little fancy drizzle like this. Nobody's the wiser. All right, so now we're done. Super easy peanut butter truffles. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure that you subscribe and turn on the little alert notification so you can watch out for our next video, which we'll be posting next Thursday. Thanks for watching.